What I saw tonight, honestly speaking, I wasn't going to say too much about it, but since it's my man Max, I got to tell the truth about it. When I watched that up-close interview, or what, interactment, Bud made sure that Canelo looked away first. Bud is for real.
He made sure Canelo broke the stare.
He made sure, and you know me, because this is what I do. You understand me? I believe in winning fights before the fight start.
Right.
You understand me? I had to watch that to be sure. I saw who was going to take the edge. Canelo did it off like it was, and don't get it wrong now, that could be, that don't mean nothing to everybody. But to me, when I make you look away first, and somebody ain't got to force you to look away,
it doesn't necessarily mean something, but maybe it does mean, maybe it might.
right.
Maybe it might.
This fight is so close, they so closely knitted, that you got to look for all the small pieces, because the small things are what going to add up to somebody winning the fight.
See, to me, in your career, Roy, I don't look at anything past the Ruiz fight.
Right.
I always say once you went up to heavyweight, you put on 25 pounds of muscle. Once you take that off, it's never going to be the same. But so people understand, the night Roy Jones beat John Ruiz, he opened as a 2-1 favorite against Mike Tyson. Yep. Imagine if someone would have told you the night Michael Spinks got knocked out in one round by Tyson, hey, there's an amateur junior middleweight who's never going to come close to losing a fight, and one day is going to open as a 2-1 favorite at heavyweight against Tyson, you'd be like, well, that's the best fighter ever. And at that moment in time, it looked like that might be the best fighter I ever saw. But Roy, because of that, throughout a lot of your career, your marketability suffered because no one could put you in a fight. Right? No one really ever came close to putting you in a fight. That's kind of happened to Bud so far. Is he therefore prepared for a fight like Canelo, giving up or having to jump up 2 more weight classes and fight a guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career?
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who was over there. Whoever they brought out that locker room was going to get it. You understand me? That's just what it was. And I think Bud kind of has that feeling. Now, Bud, you got to remember, has been around for a long time. Nobody called him out. You understand me? All the time Floyd came at the boxing floor, never said I want Bud Crawford.
No one ever said his name.
Hey, all I know is one thing. Israel Madrimov, he didn't get it. He barely lost.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but nobody called his name. You understand where I'm coming from? So when you know a guy's that formidable and that people are ducking or don't want to see him, he's a problem.
Okay, so Mike Coppinger just brought up the fact, Shady, that we see images from the press conference. There's Canelo. Canelo looks like he trained for speed for me, right? That may be a good thing or maybe not. I think of Joe Louis, Billy Conn. I'm going back to 1941, but Joe Louis thought, oh, Conn's fast. I got to train down, and it almost cost him. You think it's smart to train down?
I do think it's smart, and if you remember Canelo Triple G the first fight, right? Everyone thought that Triple G deserved that decision. Guess what? In the rematch, Canelo came and slimmed down and trained for speed, and then he won that fight in the eyes of most convincingly, right?
So, Shady, Coppinger, in a kind of sneaky, underhanded way.
He always does this.
You know what he's doing. He brings up the Madrimov fight. Yeah. Were we saying Madrimov or were we saying Madrimov?
I'm saying Madrimov, but maybe I'm wrong, Max. Wouldn't be the first time.
I think Madrimov, we're going with Madrimov. When in that fight, if you go back and look, to me, yes, it was the most competitive fight of Bud's career, but he was never really in danger of losing. And when he was like, oh, I got to win some rounds, that's what he did. But to Mike's point, just because of the guy, he was a southpaw, he was tricky.
He was tricky, too.
Clearly the size also created a layer of difficulty we haven't seen in the past. Do you agree with that or no?
I agree with that.
So what about this level of size?
The thing with Bud is, man, he's up for the challenge, right? Every time people count him out, he finds ways to answer. And then, like Roy talked about, like trying to find a small advantage. These is top-level athletes, top-level fighters. I just believe that first fight with Montreal, I was at that fight, right, and I was not bored at all. I don't know what the hell Mike got going on.
I heard booing.
I didn't hear no booing. Listen,
I was expecting a better action fight than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we're used to seeing Bud stop everybody.
And to Bud's credit, Bud knows it was a bad fight, and you heard him the other day say it wasn't just me that had a close fight. It was also Canelo against William Skull.
But the thing, real quick, Max, the game is to win. Yeah. Right? It might not be the way you look. The game is to win.
Roy, hold on. Let me ask someone who actually knows about this stuff, who's done it. at middleweight, it was ridiculous. These guys could not touch you.
Right.
At super middleweight, same thing, and you were stopping guys in 1 or 2 rounds. Good fighters. Like, people say, oh, Roy didn't fight this guy or that guy. Meantime, those guys would go out and win belts and stuff, and you were stopping him in 2 rounds like it was nothing.
Right.
When you got to light heavy, you were still easily beating everybody, but those second-round knockouts stopped, right? Now they started going the distance. What was the difference in terms of the size that you experienced there?
The difference was I was coming from 185, making 175. These guys come from 200, 210, making 175. So they could absorb the punch a bit better than the guys that were closer to my size. However, Canelo I have never seen anybody hurt Canelo.
No, ever.
So I ain't gonna lie.
Max, do me a favor. Remind everybody, who did you pick when Roy Jones fought John Ruiz?
I may have picked Ruiz.
May
But by
have.
the way, let me tell you something.
You may
Real quick.
have.
But, oh, by the way, that's the only
Call him out.
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
remember
But I never picked against Roy until he. Oh wait, now he started at middleweight. Now he's going to fight a heavyweight. That might be too much. But obviously,
But it's not
it
too much
wasn't.
with Terence Crawford.
Do you know who told me, by the way, he was going to beat Ruiz? Al Cole, the Iceman, cruiserweight
Right.
champ, who wound up going toe-to-toe with all the heavyweights, and no one could ever hurt him. He said, Max, I'll spar anyone, moment's notice, right? Any heavyweight. He had a great chin. He said, the only dude I need to wait, I need like a couple days to prepare is Roy.
He knew.
And I said,
He knew.
and what I said, Roy, was, oh, because of the speed. He said, no, because of the power.
Yep.
You think Terence Crawford could bring his power up to 68?
See, this is what bothers me. Terence has never been known as a one-punch knockout guy, but neither is Canelo. So neither one of these guys are really known. Wait a minute. Neither one of these guys are really known as knockout guys.
That's not true.
Let me tell you why. He don't know boxing like I know boxing.
I know that Canelo knocked out Kirkland and Amir Khan with
So
one
stop.
Shot.
Just what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, Roy's right about
Let me
this.
break it up. Let me break it up.
Kirkland and Amir
Two
Khan.
One
weak-
shot, though.
But Amir Khan was chinny and would
Two
get knocked
weak
out.
chin.
Kovalev at 175, 2 shots.
He was a shot Kovalev, and he went 10 rounds, and it
Okay,
wasn't
now
1 or
we're
2
making-
shots. He
okay.
broke him down. Roy's talking about bop, and you're gone.
Was
Right.
Kirkland one shot, bop and gone?
No, Kirkland was a guy who came straight forward and got chopped up and knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead,
So,
Roy. I'm sorry.
again, like I said, he's not been known as a one-punch knockout guy either. Now, to his credit though,
I like
against,
Mike, by the way.
against a
He's
smaller,
good. He's all right.
I like him too. Against a smaller
Don't beat
guy,
Mike up for us. Don't beat him up.
against a smaller guy coming up though,
Yeah.
that may come into play
Right.
because we have never seen Bud get hit by a guy quite this big. Although he beefed up, we still haven't seen him take that.
I want
So
to.
that's going to be very questionable. Can he take that one shot? But we don't think that Bud can knock out Canelo.
I want to bring up someone else that I've worked with in the past doing commentary. And here's one way to think about heavyweights, right? If you made an all-time bracket, tournament style, all the heavyweights who ever lived, who's the guy who would probably win that tournament? I don't talk about size for their era, anything. You just got to pluck them out of their era. Obviously, guys like Dempsey and Joe Louis can be too small, right? Who's the guy who would win the all-time heavyweight tournament, in your opinion, Roy?
In my opinion, I have to say Muhammad Ali.
You say Ali still. Who do you say?
I love Ali.
Ali is my guy, but
I like Jack Johnson.
you're not taking this seriously.
Yeah, amazing defensive
The
fighter.
answer is Lennox Lewis, but anyway.
Lennox.
Oh, he is right there.
I-